So everything is heard and everything is okay, right?
A very warm good afternoon to everyone. This is Shruti Anand, journalist at K12 News, and we are back with another K12 talk session. And today I'm present with Dr. Raina Khatri Tandon, who is CEO, founder, director, Right2Rise. Hello, ma'am. Welcome to K12 Talk Season 2. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much, Shruti Anand, and thank you, K12. A gratitude to Mr. Sunny Rathore as well of K12 News for having me here on this channel. Thank you.
Ma'am, it is obviously a pleasure. So, ma'am, I have some questions. The very first one, what are your comments? I mean, the post pandemic we are currently in, the students are actually not have yet started to go back to the school, but the part that is missing from the online classes is that they're not able to interact socially with each other. So I mean,
Right.
how important do you think that is, that that particular factor plays a role in between student and teacher?
Right. I would say that factor really means a lot in students' life. If we have to go back to our childhood days, I remember that a child being silent or a child being spoken and outspoken all depends on the company that he holds. Sometimes we also evolve with environment, with people. So when a child is in school, he becomes totally different. In fact, I have two boys myself, and both are in the teens. So जब मैंने उनको बोला था कि स्कूल खुलने वाला था, they were all cribbing. But the minute they were out on the first day, they came back and said, "Mom, it was so good because school में दोस्त मिले, यार मिले, the interactions that they have, even though they have the social distancing norms, yet they were not able to hug each other. But then the physical meeting itself gives you so much of power that in case you have a doubt, in case uh, you have something in your mind, you would like to have some questions, it's so much easier when you have a friend who can actually see you, feel you, emote you, and there's somebody who can sit by you and say, yes, let's just discuss it out. Maybe we'll find a solution. So physical touch, physical interactions cannot be replaced by technology and pandemic. But yes, because we are forced to do uh, an online system so that we can keep the pandemic norms, we can keep ourselves safe even in the onset of the new virus that has come in. Uh, Drastically, technology will take place over a period of time and it is here to stay. But what I'm trying to say is, even when you're in technology, take some time off to physically call up people, speak to them without any intention, without any need, because sometimes there are so many things that are happening inside even children where they just want somebody to hear them, uh, irrespective of having big families at home. जरूरी नहीं है कि आपकी बड़ी परिवार है, बड़ा परिवार है तो इतने सारे लोग हैं जो आपको जानते पहचानते हेल्प करते हैं. It also depends on how these people take out time to sit together and hear each other out.
Obviously, ma'am, that makes absolute sense, and that is, I mean, I totally agree to it because no matter what we are doing, the technology cannot, I mean, as you said, it cannot replace the
Replace.
things that we were learning while we were in personally present in school. So, ma'am, all the schools have not yet been opened. I mean, as a parent, you must have been terrified when you got the news that yeah, the students are asking to get back to the school, but the vaccine is not yet available for people below the age of 18.
Yeah.
So I mean, what was your first instinct? Were you okay with sending your boys to the school? And as an educator, what were your thoughts?
So I Dr. Raina Khatri Tandon, work into the areas of education where we provide a lot of awareness to parents, to educators, to institutions, and to youth and students about their safety. Because when it comes to POSH and POXO Act, they are two legal acts that Government of India and the Constitution has devised, so that we can maintain protocols of avoiding abuse, harassment, pornography, any other form of sexual assault. It comes into one of the most important priorities of safety. When pandemic struck, of course, we were all very fearful. But like you, like everybody else, even you have seen how we have evolved that. If together we can take care of ourselves, we can sail through it. So when I got the news that, I mean, ideally the schools are open, I think I was one of the happiest parents because I did not look at what's going to happen tomorrow in terms of the pandemic or the virus. Uh, there has been situations in our lives where we've seen, in spite of having a double dose of vaccination, yet people fall ill, yet there are serious cases, and we have to just take it one moment at a time. We have to just be in the present. We have to see what best can be happening in order to get the person out of that serious zone. So, how does it make a difference if my child is going to be hitting the schools today where he really wants to meet his teachers, parents, and have that experience of growth? I don't think my child sitting in the four walls, in spite of the best education given by school, because teachers, school institutions are doing their best. I'm sure they are doing their best. As an educator myself, when I give sessions online on any of the safety awareness, I'm doing more than 100%. So I doubt the others will also not do that. They will also be 200% on whatever they are delivering. Apart from that, there are so many experiences that we cannot observe online yet. As a parent, if I have to weigh the number of pluses on going physical to virtual, going physical is so much easier. Yet one of the flaws that we count when we go physical is in a traffic place like Mumbai, we don't want to traverse with heavy traffic. We don't want to spend time on traveling because now we got accustomed to sitting at home. But uh, safety comes with us, not with the vaccination. You have to put your mask on, you have to maintain your distance, you have to keep washing your hands properly for that 3 to 5 minutes that has been said. You have to keep yourself away from people who are coughing cold, people who have been maybe diagnosed with little viruses that are moving around, because we don't know which virus is going to attack you. If you take care and not speak to people who are out there, who are strangers, communicating with them, traveling, taking care of where you touch, what you touch, how are you traversing, are you using the lift, are you using the stairs, not using your hands on something that you don't know whether they have been sanitized or not. If we are careful about these norms, which children are highly knowledgeable today, let's not understand and think like our children are fools. Okay. Post the age of 6, it is said by research that an adult's brain and a child's brain is equivalently the same. That means they have become more than half adults at the age of 6.5, 7, by which they understand what is being told to them, and they also use the analytical brain and the realistic side of what's happening today. So when we know that they're so very highly skilled, they know what is the pros and cons, then let them decide for themselves. All we can do is to empower them, to enable them to understand what is right and what is wrong. So I was a parent who was like, okay, I feel really excited about this, because if my school reopens in June when I was a child, I was super excited. Wow, I'm going to meet my friends. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell them what I did in my holidays. I'm going to tell them what all happened in pandemic and da. So when I was super excited, why will I stop my child going back to school and telling them, go and share your excitement, share your experiences? Because when you share, when you communicate, then you grow. I have grown through the number of people I have traveled, I have experienced with. I think today I have traveled more than 40 countries, and these include, one of the best countries is Finland, Sweden, Norway, Switzerland, and Far East. Now, these are countries which are highly ranking number one in education, safety, and medicine. UK, Finland, Sweden, Scandinavian countries, Russia, the far Greece and Switzerland that I'm talking are purest countries when it comes to air, pollution, and any form of safety norms. So, and my children are, of course, born there. So, ideally, they know what it means like being clean and how they need to keep themselves safe. So, After having all these experiences, I think I have to allow them to breed. I have to allow them to bloom. I can't be holding them and telling them, no, this is what mama tells you, this is what papa tells you, this is what the teacher tells you, please follow this. That's not done. I don't think any child today will any which ways listen to us on those reasonings. Give a practical reason why you are telling them to go or not to go, and that will help. So, as a parent or as an educator, I would still say going to school matters a lot. But when parents come to me and share their problems, I will understand and see why they want an online compared to an offline. And if their reasons are higher, or if they have valid reasons, then yes, there should be provisions given to them as well to operate online, because a lot of them have traveled back to their native places and are obviously just coming down from their native places instantly, or attending school again will be a little difficult because they were on rent and they've sold off their properties and gone back to their family, which is much more now the need of the hour to be among your own people so that you can support them.
That exactly brings me back to the third question. I mean, how exactly are we going to adjust in the pandemic, like we were adjusting pre-pandemic world? I mean, it's been almost 2 years. This started in March
Right.
2020, and we are in the end of 2021. So it's been almost 2 years. We are not sure why when exactly we'll go back to the life we were living in 2018 and 2019. So how exactly are people and the students, the parents, the teachers, and the principals are going to adjust?
So interestingly, before we used to set bigger goals. Okay, as a company owner, as a Right to Rise owner, as a foundation owner, and as an educationist, when we set goals, we used to set goals for year, months, 5 years. Now we can't do that because we don't know what's happening next moment. Okay,
Absolutely.
so the same thing is for children. So when I ask my boys, what do you really want to become? Now I don't ask them, what do you want to become 2 years down the line? Okay, one is in the eighth and one is in the ninth. I ask them, what is that you really want to do in the next 3 months? Do you really look at earning some money? Do you really look at what you can want to become in the like picking up your subjects? Or do you really feel that, small decisions of what you want, how do you put your money inside, how do you save it, how do you keep your room clean? I think values, skills, and tendencies of how to do what, like delegating, decision making. These are skills that children don't have now. So we must be focusing on that. Secondly, I have a lot of interns. We run an internship academy at Right to Rise. So there are a group of interns that come in all the time. Now, these are interns who are being skilled on different skills, from how they should be a presentator or a public speaking skills, to how they should be able to um, get into a compliant place or get into the corporate space without hacking people's judgments. That is, there are going to be people who are old, there are going to be people who are young, there are going to be people who are very classy, people who have biases, perceptions, mindsets. How are you to walk into this place? तो मेरा बताने का जरिया ये है कि now you cannot think of what's going to happen in the future, because future is very, very indispensable. There change is going to be always there. Change is inevitable. What I could say is, if you start small, break up smaller tasks one at a time and think about them. So even if it's school or educators, they should start thinking about what they need to do now in the next 3 months. If there are change of teachers, if there are change of strategies, and now there's a new virus, so there might be schools shutting down soon. So if they are shutting down, how are they going to cope for the next 3 to 6 months? Because we are already at the end of the year. So if they really are looking at growth, really at looking at people coming up more to their schools, approaching parents not leaving their schools, then they should think of strategies on how to hold them. With regard to children, uh, I think children can't do much because, first of all, they are very confused. One, they are super excited because they don't have to always give the exams and the tests. Two, they're all sometimes pressurized because schools which have opened have started projects and submissions and tests and exams. So that is suddenly a state where children are pushed to. After 2 years of not writing exam test and relaxing, if you're suddenly pushed to something, it will take a while for you to settle in. But I'm sure they will all sail through it because, as we say, the skin of a child develops very quickly. The brain of the child intercepts a lot of knowledge, words, skills, expertise very quickly. A child learns faster than an adult. Similarly, I think this is just a phase because just like pandemic, just like demonetization, just like any other uh, see, virus is just a reason, but there have been many instances, many change of governments, many change of leaders, many change of instances that we have gone through, and we've yet emerged like heroes. So this pandemic
Absolutely.
is also not going to really stay for long, and uh, it won't be the same as we were earlier. In fact, it will be better because we have better coping strategies. So, with looking at a bright sunshine in the future and a positive beginning to start with in the next 2022, I'm sure we'll all sail through beautifully.
Uh, Ma'am, cheers and fingers crossed to that. Touch wood. Hopefully that takes place, and hopefully, I mean, we all are moving forward to the year 2022 with the light of with a beam of light and with smiles on our faces. I wish that for everyone who are present here and, of course, who are watching us. So, Ma'am, thank you so much for sharing your views and your thoughts and your experiences on our platform. Thank you so much for being a part of K12 Talks 2021, and thank you so much, people, for your wonderful support. And stay tuned. We'll be back. Today, this was Shruti Anand, press journalist at K12 News, present with Dr. Raina Khatri